Imagine two people. Both are 30 years old. Both have worked hard for years. Both have managed to save $10,000. But 10 years later, one of them has over $100,000. The other still has roughly the same $10,000. What happened? Did one get lucky? Did one have a higher paying job? Did one discover some secret investment strategy? Not exactly. The difference came down to one simple shift. One person learned how to turn saving into investing, and the other didn't. Here's the interesting part. Most people think saving money and investing money are basically the same thing. They're not. In fact, they're completely different games. And understanding that difference can change your financial future forever. Because if you're only saving money, you might actually be working much harder than you need to. Let's start with something that sounds responsible. You get paid. You spend less than you earn. You move money into your savings account, month after month, year after year. And honestly, that's already better than what many people do. Most people struggle to save anything at all. So if you're saving money consistently, you're doing something right. But eventually, something strange starts to happen. Your savings account grows. Maybe it reaches $1,000, then $5,000, then $10,000. And suddenly you start asking yourself a question. Now what? Because the money is sitting there, not really growing, not really doing much, just waiting. And this is where many people get stuck. They become excellent savers, but never become investors. And that single mistake can cost them years of financial progress. Here's the thing. Humans love certainty. We like knowing exactly where things are. If you have $10,000 in your savings account today, you'll probably have close to $10,000 tomorrow. That feels safe, comfortable, predictable. Our brains love predictable. The problem is that money doesn't live in a vacuum. Everything around us keeps getting more expensive. Food, rent, cars, insurance, travel. Almost everything costs more over time. Imagine filling a bucket with water, but there's a tiny hole at the bottom. You're still adding water, but some of it is slowly leaking out. That's what inflation does to savings. You don't notice it immediately, but year after year, it quietly reduces what your money can buy. And here's what most people don't realize. The biggest risk isn't always losing money. Sometimes the biggest risk is letting your money stand still. Now, before we talk about investing, let's clear something up. Saving is important, very important. In fact, investing should never come before saving, because saving and investing have different jobs. Saving protects you. Investing grows you. Think of saving like a seatbelt. You don't wear a seatbelt to get somewhere faster. You wear it to protect yourself when something unexpected happens. Your emergency fund works the same way. It protects you from life's surprises. The broken car, the medical bill, the job loss, the unexpected expense. That's why financial experts often recommend building several months of living expenses before investing heavily. Because when life happens, and it always does, you don't want to sell investments just to pay a bill. Let's say you've done that. You've built your emergency fund. You have money set aside. You're financially stable. Now something interesting happens. You have a choice. You can continue putting every extra dollar into savings. Or you can start giving some of that money a different job. This is where investing begins. And for many people, this moment feels terrifying because investing feels uncertain. The stock market goes up, the stock market goes down. News headlines scream about crashes. Social media is full of horror stories. So people stay in savings, even when they know they should probably invest. Why? Because emotionally, certainty feels better than growth. This is where it gets really interesting. People often think investing is a money skill, But it's actually a psychology skill. The hardest part isn't learning how investments work. The hardest part is dealing with uncertainty. Imagine planting a tree. You water it, you take care of it, but you don't dig it up every week to check whether it's growing. You trust the process. Investing works the same way. You put money in. You give it time. You let growth happen. But many people struggle with this because they want immediate results. We're used to instant rewards, instant messages, instant deliveries, instant entertainment. Investing asks us to think differently. It asks us to be patient. And patience feels uncomfortable. Here's what most people imagine wealth being built through one big event: a huge investment, a lucky opportunity, a sudden breakthrough. But reality is usually much less exciting and much more powerful. Wealth is often built through small actions repeated consistently. Let's imagine two people. One invests $300 every month. The other waits until they have a better time to start. 5 years pass, then 10, then 15. Eventually, the first person pulls far ahead, not because they invested more money initially, but because they started earlier. Time did most of the work. This is one of the biggest secrets in personal finance. The longer your money works, the less you have to. Here's what most people don't realize. Saving can actually become a comfort zone. At first, saving feels like progress, and it is. But eventually, some people become so focused on protecting money that they never allow it to grow. It's like owning a car and never driving it because you're afraid of getting scratches. Yes, the car stays safe, but it never fulfills its purpose. Money is similar. Part of your money should be protected, but part of it should be working, growing, expanding, creating opportunities. That's what investing allows it to do. So, what does the transition actually look like? Step 1. Build an emergency fund. Step 2. Keep that emergency fund separate. Step 3. Decide how much extra money you can consistently invest. Step 4. Start small, very small if necessary. The amount matters less than the habit. Step 5. Keep investing regularly, whether markets are up or down, whether headlines are positive or negative. Consistency matters more than perfection. And step 6. Give it time. A lot more time than you think, because investing rewards patience more than intelligence. But here's the lesson that goes beyond money. The transition from saving to investing is really a transition from fear to confidence. Saving says, I need protection. Investing says, I believe in the future. Both are important, both have a place. But eventually, growth requires trust. Trust in your plan, trust in your habits, trust in time. And that's why investing changes more than your bank account. It changes the way you think. At the beginning of this video, I told you about two people who both saved $10,000. One stayed a saver, one became an investor. Years later, their financial lives looked completely different. Not because one worked harder, not because one was smarter, but because one understood a simple truth. Saving money protects your future. Investing money builds it. And if you're currently sitting on savings wondering what comes next, that's the question you should ask yourself. Not, how much money do I have? But, is my money still protecting me? Or is it finally starting to work for me? Because the moment your money starts working, everything begins to change. And that's when wealth building truly starts.